we bout that. And we represent UK worldwide, got the drill stepping.
This clip is brought to you by BatterOnline.com.
Don't argue with Suze Orman, Master P. You're not Money P, you're Master P.
Yeah, respect family. I was asked to react to this clip, which I believe is Suze Orman, a financial advisor and planner. And she was on the Breakfast Club and she spoke about a run-in that she had with Master P. So who is Suze Orman, an American financial advisor and author who gives a lot of advice on the smartest ways that you can save money, make money, so on and so forth. Here we can see she got quite a few books. You know, P's always talking about financial literacy, and he does have his own book, Guaranteed Success. And we see a news story says Suze Orman says putting people first before money will make you richer. So let's check out this clip posted by Angela Yee.
Yeah.
And the spat was
She actually
Master
said
P.
fight.
Yeah, she said
Fight. It was
fight
fight.
with Master
So
P.
here we are, years.
We were talking outside that you said you got into a argument.
Yeah.
And the spat was
She actually
Master
said
P.
fight.
Yeah, she said
Fight. It was
fight
fight
with Master
So
P.
here we are, years and years and years ago now. I want to say maybe even 15 years ago. Russell Simmons had a Get Your Money Right tour. Mm-hmm. And I traveled all around. I was the only white girl in this whole rapper thing because it was Eminem,
Mm-hmm.
it was Master P, it was Little John, it was Reverend Ron, it was all Commons.
Okay.
It was all of us, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And all
There's only
these,
one comment.
Common, just
one
comment.
comment, whatever his name.
Common.
Common.
Right.
Right. But so we're sitting there, and the whole audience was in Detroit. Everybody's there really not to hear about money, but they're there to give them their little samples of their CDs of them
Demos.
rapping, right? So that they could become like them, right? And so I'm up there talking to these kids about how if you save $100 a month, you know, and you do so for, and I give this a whole example how they can become a millionaire. And also Master P says, where are these kids going to get $100? These kids are never going to have $100.
Hey.
And we got in a fight over it. It's like, don't, because your thoughts create your destiny.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, don't tell me, what were they doing with their money when they were giving you money to sell them something, Master P? Right? It was like, and he's just looking at me, and we went at each other. And, you know, I hope somewhere, if somebody's listening to this, they have it on tape, because I'm sure it was fabulous. And then I didn't ever see him again, except I'm now doing the Wendy Williams show. And all of a sudden they say, Master P's in the room next to you. And I'm like, oh, God, really? And so I knocked on the door. I said, remember me? And he kind of just looked at me. I'm not sure if he did.
You didn't know if you was the feds or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. But I took him on straight up.
It's not hard to save $100 a month, though. I'm sure if you look around in that audience, you saw all kind of expensive sneakers,
Jordans.
expensive clothes.
That's what I
headphones.
think. But, you know, and the example was a great one. You start at 25, saving $100 a month, and you do so every single month until you are 65, and put it in a good Standard & Poor's 500 index fund, let's say in a Roth IRA with average market returns, you'd have $1 million.
Wow.
But if you wait just 10 years, $100 a month is $1,200 a year. For 10 years, it's $12,000. Not that much money if you wait 10 years. And you start at 35, at 65, you'd have only $300,000. So those 10 years cost you $700,000 at $100 a month. And now he's arguing with me. Don't argue with Suze Orman, Master P. You're not Money P, you're Master P.
Yeah, guys. So I haven't actually seen this clip before. I don't know if it's old, but as you see, it was recently posted and it's been making the rounds once again on social media. And I think, you know, something like this, when it comes to financial advice, is always going to be relative. We can check some of the comments. I believe that's Big Swole. He says he wants kids to buy his $500 sneakers. Somebody called Mary Harris says, Susie always the best. I've learned to invest in my retirement years ago because of her great advice. So, you know, my initial thoughts on it, if Master P did say that, is he's wrong, because, you know, the hundreds of dollars that he's always asking for people to spend, you know, even if it's back in the day on music, some of us spent a whole bunch of money. Maybe, you know, if his CDs were coming out every week, that's about, you know, I don't know, depending on where you lived, we used to spend like about £20 each week. So that come up to, you know, at the time, maybe, you know, give or take $17, $15, you know, plus buying his clothing, you know, merchandise, all that other sort of stuff. So I think it was bad for him to say that. And I bet P was probably surprised that she stood up to him and kind of checked him on it. Now, hopefully the footage does surface. Like she said, it would be good to actually see it. I tried to do a bit of a check for it. I couldn't find it. I did find the Wendy Williams show in question, where it has her listed with Master P and Romeo as a guest. So I can see that she isn't lying about that. I don't actually think she's lying, to be honest. She seems well established, well accredited, and P is often always talking about financial literacy and stuff. And I think generally a lot of people in different communities, some of them are a bit more financially literate and are a bit more versed in the areas of finance. And even how she was just breaking down savings and how to save and methods how to save and stuff like that. Some of that stuff has never really been taught to us in certain communities and black communities and stuff, and maybe urban or impoverished communities. And some people say poverty is a state of the mind and it's how you think. So I think that was wrong if P did say that, to say that kids can't do something, because it's sort of like limiting them when your whole thing is really about no limits. And I get that P's always kicked a positive message where he can, and is always speaking out for people to develop and enhance themselves. And there's always been speaking out for people to enhance themselves. But ultimately, I wasn't there and didn't hear the conversation, but going from what she said, it would have been poor taste if he did say that, and she would have been in the right to challenge him on it.
But, and the example was a great one. You start at 25, saving $100 a month, and you do so every single month until you are 65, and put it in a good Standard & Poor's 500 index fund. Let's say in a Roth IRA with average market returns, you'd have $1 million.
Wow.
But if you wait just 10 years, $100 a month is $1,200 a year. For 10 years, it's $12,000. Not that much money if you wait 10 years. And you start at 35, at 65, you'd have only $300,000. So those 10 years cost you $700,000 at $100 a month. And now he's arguing with me. Don't argue with Suze Orman, Master P. You're not Money P, you're Master P.
But yeah, she's funny when she said, I told him you're not Money P, you're just Master P. So it must have been an interesting meeting the next time that they met. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. You think P was giving bad advice? As she did say, most of the people that was at the show weren't necessarily that interested in hearing maybe a lot of the financial stuff. They was interested in trying to be where they currently see these moguls and these rappers and stuff at. So my experience, somewhat to a lot of people in the industry, they may not necessarily give you the tools needed to get to where they are, as weird as that might sound, because sometimes it's kind of like a pedestal thing where you're constantly feeding into them and buying their products and things of that nature. But we do support, and it's an interesting clip. If you guys want me to react to anything, definitely let me know. Send it through on the email or send it through on the social media, Facebook or anything. Peace.
Cause we bout that, and we representin' UK worldwide, got the trill steppin'. Cause we bout that, and we representin' UK worldwide, got the trill steppin'. We be representin' bout that online. That's the hottest spot, the real ones. You